This section of the bargain video is going to be done outside because that is a solid concrete Buddha. I picked him up at a yard sale for 10 bucks. My wife's been looking for something to add to our garden area. He's going to sit here next to the roses. He needs a little cleanup. It was a good price, and he's not in bad shape overall. And but he is rather heavy. Some more outdoor bonus footage. Now, people who watched the security video I did recently remember I got this planter, this hanging device, for $1 at a yard sale. My wife put a liner in it, dirt, and plants. Well, now we have 2 more. I just installed these. Didn't do as good on the deal on this one, but I found them at a thrift shop, Savers, for $7 a piece. So I got 2 of them. I went to purchase liners today and they were out, so I have to go out tomorrow and get some liners. Then I think we still have some dirt left. We may have to buy more dirt. And my wife and her mother can pick out plants. And this one, I don't know if we can find shade tolerant plants for this one. My wife is concerned about potential mold. So we may just do silk flowers. That's up to them. I don't care. I did my part. I bought them, I hung them up. From this point on, it is now up to them. But this not only adds beauty to the situation, but it adds a modicum of security, because it slows someone down. It makes it more awkward for them to get into the building, and that's all you can ask for. You know, if you make the job difficult for somebody, they'll go somewhere else. So there you go, folks. For 14 bucks, and I think I paid $2 for the fasteners. Everything else I already had at home, so not bad for a $16 window treatment plus whatever else goes inside. But you know, that's a pretty good deal. And here's a bonus segment. See these sunflower plants right here? These were absolute and utter serendipity. There's a planter right above them, and sunflower seeds landed on the ground, germinated, and now we have sunflowers. And we're just going to let them grow. We're going to see how big they get. My wife says that her mother has never had sunflowers do this well, and she has intentionally planted them in the past, and this was complete and utter happenstance. Greetings, YouTube. Time for another bargain video. First up, we have the Season 8, Volume 1 of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer comic book. This is a hardcover book, quite large. The owner, promo, did not get far in it. I haven't actually read any of these, but I picked it up for $5. I thought I'd give it a read and see if I like it. And it's in relatively decent condition. I may be able to sell it. Then we have Household Chartalog, 100 charts for kitchen tips, equivalents, cleaning tips, human and pet, car first aid, home repair, garden care, and much, much more. And I kind of like these references. Then we have a copy of the original TSR Dungeons & Dragons Deities and Demigods, and the Monster Manual, both of which I picked up for $1. They were formerly owned by a guy named Mark Holmes. We have The Vanishing Hitchhiker, American Urban Legends and Their Meanings, Steve Martin's Standing Up, Lords of the Horizon, History of the Ottoman Empire, Better Than Human, The Promise and Perils of Enhancing Ourselves, Troy and Its Remains by Heinrich Schliemann. I've read of Heinrich Schliemann. I have never actually read his book directly. Then we have some DVDs. We have Killer Elite, I Want a Dog for Christmas, Charlie Brown, and Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown, both which we did not have in our collection. The Vikings, Voyage of the Longships, Idle Hands with Seth Green, Toy Story 1 and 2, so now my Toy Story film collection is complete. A 2-volume set of fantasy films, which look to be direct-to-DVD fantasy films. I picked it up at Walmart for $5. I just had to see. You couldn't read which films they were, because they were taped together, but I had to buy it anyway. Batman Mystery of the Batwoman, no one I've never seen, and Ender's Game, a film I have never seen. This is still sealed. I picked it up at a thrift shop. Whoever owned it never watched it. It's a promo, so I don't know what that means, but it does have commentary on it, so I may listen to that at some point. I've read the book. It's one of the greatest pieces of science fiction ever written, possibly the best. The author, however, is a raging homophobic bigot. Do never purchase anything he has ever produced for new. Always buy secondhand. I have a couple of DVDs that didn't make it into the first section. We have Star Trek The Motion Picture, the Director's Edition, and Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, which I don't have in my collection. I'm looking forward to looking at this one. I haven't seen this in a very long time. It is completely and utterly cheesy and overly dramatic, but I'm still looking forward to seeing it. Then I picked up a flashlight. It actually opens into a lantern, which I can't do with one hand, but this pulls up this handle here, and somebody had a hand braided piece on here, and I'm keeping that. That makes me smile. This was originally from Brookstone. I paid $2 for this, and it works, and it's kind of neat, and it adds to my collection, and I just like this hand braided thing. Just made me smile a whole lot. Then we have a pair of GigaWare stereo speakers for your computer, which are going onto my computer as soon as this video is done, because the other night at 3:45 a.m. they blew up. I'm in bed, and all of a sudden I hear this sound. I thought my refrigerator had just blown its compressor, and it's this roar, and it's in my office, and it's coming from my speakers. So they're dead. I picked these up at a yard sale for $2. So let's see if they work. We have some pastels, crayons, and pastels. My wife wanted those for art projects. I picked this up at a dollar store. It's a knife. I actually want to see how well it works. Just because. Sometimes you can be surprised. I'm going to see what kind of quality it's got. And I mean, it was $1. And along with this, we have a cutting board. This cutting board has a nice big hole in the top for hanging it. And I purchased this not as a cutting board. I purchased this as a target. I've been thinking of making some throwing weapons, and so I want to have a target I can hang up and then take down. And this is going to be it. I paid $1 for it at a yard sale. And it's pretty good size. And it's one piece of wood, so hopefully that'll work pretty good. I have a pair of Wiss shears. And these are very comfortable. These handles are nice and big and very, very, very comfortable. And they're solid steel construction. The steel comes all the way down here. There will be a full review of those in the future. And these were like $13, and the person sold them to me for $10. And I think she sold them to me because I'm a customer there every week, because I don't think they were on sale. But I'm not going to argue if somebody knocks $3 off something for me. Then we have a set of precision shears, which I got for my wife, for her gardening. And we have these things. These are some kind of shears, and let me open them up. Sorry, I'm not left-handed. There we go. And when they're open, they go square. And when they close, they overlap. Oops, they overlap completely. And I have absolutely no idea what they're for. They're Japanese made. They're really nice quality, and I got no idea what these things are for. Other than saying Japan, I can't really find any markings on them. The former owner was an electrical engineer. So if anybody knows anything about electrical engineering, would you use these? And for what? All right. Then we have an entire box of pom-poms. Hundreds of them. I saw this and I'm like, it's like a rainbow! So I purchased it. Now I'm going to have to find places to stick pom-poms. Maybe I'll take them with me everywhere and leave them behind me like a trail. Then we have some tap. I picked these up also at a lot of these tools came from the same place. These are taps. I have a tap handle in my collection, and now I have tap. Well, he came with a small tap handle, and now I have a set of taps. So I'm going to try to branch out into actually drilling and tapping holes. The problem is that I don't know if I can drill the holes perfectly enough to take a tap, because that's difficult to do without like a drill press, a proper drill press, which I don't own, or a mill. So I can try now, but for $1.50, at least I'm going to be able to step into the whole idea of tapping holes, or at least fixing holes I already have that threads may be worn. I can at least recut them. A couple of C-clamps, because you can never have too many clamps. Picked this up for $1 at a estate sale. It's a stonemason's chisel, which is good. It's from Dasco Pro, because I actually need to cut some marble soon, and I may need that to work on that and potentially work on the cement columns I'm going to put together to make a bench. So that may come in handy. A set of needle nose vice grips, always handy to have. A set of Craftsman chisels, which need a little love, but they're complete, and I only had like one chisel in my collection. I think it was a 3/4 chisel, so now I have a wider variety of chisels, so that's cool. And it was $4. And then I found these are Brad Point bits, good for drilling wood because that little point right there starts first and helps you go straight. So I picked this up for $2. Then we have this magnificent brass chicken. Look at this thing. Isn't it beautiful? And it's got holes, and you can just bolt it to the wall, which is what I'll be doing when I'm done. I'm going to go bolt it to the wall on my porch. It is just absolutely and utterly glorious, and it made me smile. Picked up a giant die 6, and proudly says made in China. There's only one, unfortunately. Didn't have a pair, but I thought it was kind of cool. I picked up a couple of bells. We have a nice sound and has a pleasant floral pattern on it. And we have this one, which is a wind chime, which I think is made completely of recovered materials, because this, I believe, is an old saw blade that was reconditioned, but I'm not positive, so I don't know where we're going to put that, but it has a nice tone. My wife liked it, so we could pick that up. I bought a stone egg, which has a turtle in it, which kind of looks like Godzilla. I mean, Gamera. He looks very dubious about the whole concept, like, I'm not really sure I like this idea of being out of the shell. But I picked that up, and it has a nice heft to it, and I like the shape, and I like egg shapes in general. I picked up a squid, which is a mutant, because the squid has a smile. Squids don't have smiles. Their beaks are down there at the joint of their legs. It's an octopus, mostly. It's not a squid. An octopus, and it's kind of cute. It's from the New England Aquarium. Picked that up. And then, to continue the aquatic theme, we have a Hydro Pro 3mm wetsuit. This is an extra small man's, and it fits on my wife, and it was only $20, and she needed one for kayaking in the ocean. So there you go. So for $20 to try out her first wetsuit, because the first proper wetsuit, you can't go wrong there. So you can see it's a very eclectic collection of things today. So I thought that was kind of cool, that we have some interesting stuff here. And if anybody knows what these are, tell me.